So, when you want to make your computer, the hardware, do something different than that which it is script for, and I'm using the word that we use in us, don't we use a disk? Tori, don't we?
Yes.
That's it. But of course we got to recognize that this has to be compatible with that particular computer. Now, in our long bones, when we're young, we have a particular structure. What do we call that? You remember?
Epiphysis.
The epiphysis. And that word means to grow upon. Where else do we have an epiphysis? Neurology once more. Not referring to a bone, to something else, which has another name too.
What's the question?
What else in the body?
Anybody? No?
He said
I'll
neurology.
give it to you.
Wait,
The thalamus, isn't it?
is that what he's saying?
I think so.
The thalamus. You're close.
Another name for the pineal gland. But it's called in its full the epiphysis cerebri, or if you like in English, cerebri, okay? And this should be said that way so we don't confuse the location. Now, if the epiphysis and the long bone is the software, so what's the pineal gland?
The hardware.
Software too.
Okay.
You make parallel. You follow? How easy it is. But you've got to understand these things. Now, what material is the intervertebral disc consist of? The epiphysis, what? Anybody know?
Fibrocartilage.
Cartilage.
Cartilage. What is the common name for cartilage?
Just a combination.
I'll say it.
Soft bone. Soft bone. So that's the software, is it not? It fits. Right? Now, take your fingers and do this. What's at the end of the nose?
Cartilage. Cartilage.
Let's use our self-centered words.
Soft bone.
Soft bone. And what is a soft bone? in between these fingers. A disc. So when you breathe, you take air into your nostrils, but you take the finer air through the cartilage or the soft bone. And here, it travels up the septum or the wall. And up here is what?
Sinus.
Right between the bridge of the eye and the center, a seed. Yeah? That's the hardware up here. This down here makes the software. But whatever. Now notice the precision here. Whatever this soft bone takes in must parallel or correspond with this. And remember, we're taking in a lot of crap in plain English. And we seem to store that crap. So the time comes when we have to get rid of it. And this is the time. Get rid of it. Now it would be a very dull living if we just lived with our hardware. Very dull. And God said, heaven is, anybody remember? The firmament. And what is meant by the firmament? Something that's firm. And what is firm in us? The bones. That's heaven. Don't look for heaven outside. It's right inside of us. And how can you make yourself go farther? By understanding yourself, myself. And we could only understand it by making parallels with the things that are outside of us. And they're out there because they're an image of what we are inside, and we are not aware of that image inside. So the best thing we can do is to look outside. And it's the same thing when I look into space. I see the stars, and astrologers tell us, oh, that star passing this house, and that's going to do this to you. Bunk. It is inside of you. Remember, somewhere in Shakespeare, the saying, Brutus, the stars don't influence you. You influence the stars. And how true that is. That we could look up there, since we can't see inside of us, and probably get some idea how we are inside. True.